face. The real threat we face in the United States is the rise of that managerial class from our universities to corporate America to the ultimate mother of the managerial class in the administrative state in the federal government itself. Today, the people who we elect to run the government, they are no longer the ones who actually run the government. It is the deep state in the shadow government of those three-letter agencies that wield power today. And that is why I have said that as your next president, I will do what the U.S. president, the leader of the executive branch, can actually do. We will shut down the unconstitutional federal administrative state. That is the head of the snake, and we're not going to tinker around the edges. We're going to gut it. If I can't work for you all as your next president for more than 8 years, which I think is a good thing, then neither should any of those federal bureaucrats reporting into me either. 8-year term limits for the bureaucracy instead of these civil service protections. We're done with it. When there are government agencies that should no longer exist, from the FBI to the IRS to the ATF to the CDC to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to the U.S. Department of Education, we're not going to incrementally reform them. We will get in there and shut them down. That is how you revive the integrity of a constitutional republic. 75% headcount reduction in the federal bureaucrat headcount. Rescind 50% of the unconstitutional federal regulations that fail the Supreme Court's test in West Virginia versus EPA. This is how you actually drain the swamp. And they will tell you, I respect the beginning of the project that President Trump began. That's why I commend him every time as the excellent president that he was. He rolled over that log, and we saw what crawled out. And I will always give credit to him for doing that without apology. We saw what crawled out. But if you strike the swamp strikes back. So if you're going to roll that log over and see what crawls out, you better be ready to bring the pesticide. That's what I'm bringing to the table. Okay? Extermination of the swamp. They told him. That's what they do. They dupe leaders like us. They say, oh, you can't fire these employees because of civil service protections. Well, guess what? I've actually read the law. My parents got this for me yesterday, my pocketbook copy of the Constitution. There's one Article 2 in the Constitution. If somebody works for you and you can't fire them, that means they don't work for you. It means you work for them because you're responsible for what they do without any authority to change it. So I refuse to be the puppet who sits in the White House today. We're going to actually get in there and say, you know what? The civil service protections might say, hey, I can't fire you because I disagree with something and you're working at the FTC. Fine. But the civil service protections do not apply to mass layoffs. And mass layoffs are absolutely what I will bring to the D.C. bureaucracy as your next president. That is how you gut the system. That's what we'll do at home, and if we do one thing at home, there's a lot else I want to do. Gut the administrative state so we have 3 branches of government, not 4. What do we do?